Welcome to the Raf and Raf Rant. I'm Raf.
And I'm Raf. We're Raf.
Raf Farisco of the Far From Vesuvius podcast. That's Ralph Pizarro of Calcio Napoli Club. Just rant about Napoli.
Let's go for it.
We're going to rant. We're going to match report. We're going to talk about the games. We're going to talk about topics. You leave comments and we'll read your comments out. Question.
All right. Quick stats.
Yes. Throw the stats up there. On to a nice little segment that we're going to call the Beast of the Match.
Who is beasting it for the Napoli team? Let's see.
Follow us on Facebook, Rafael Rispo, Ralph Pizarro, Twitter at RafaNapoli83. That's me.
CNC USA 26.
I want some feedback to the show. What do you guys want to see? What do you want to see more or less of? This is going to be a show for you guys too. I want a lot of comments.
We want to rant about something. Let us know if you want us to rant about something.
I promise you, we're not going to agree on everything all the time.
We won't.
We're going to yell at each other every now and then.
Come and rant. This is what it's for. We want to give you a space to let loose so you can do it here.
Well, that's going to do it, Ralph. You know, were we boring enough for you?
I don't know. I think we were great.
Let's get to it.
And good afternoon, Tifosi. My name is Ralph Pizarro. This is the Ralph and Ralph Rant. What a doozy today. Spezia defeat Napoli 2-1 at the Maradona. Boy, get this rant started, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to do the stats real quick. I have a lot to say today, man. A lot to say, but let's go to it. Let's go to it real quick, all right? All right, real quick here. Coming with the stats for today's lineup. Napoli go, 1 second, boys and girls. Will Napoli go to the 4-2-3-1? Usual suspects, pretty much the same guys that we saw last week. Maria Maximovic, Manolas, and Di Lorenzo. Bacchio and Ruiz get the start in the middle with Insigne, Zielinski, and Politano. And then a kind of a new development with Lozano. A nice little experiment from Gattuso today with Lozano up top. But yeah, we all know how that worked out. Moving on to the stats, another dominating possessing game by Napoli with 62%. Didn't fix it was 38%. My apologies, guys, on the Spezia. 23 chances to 5. All right. Spezia get a red card in the second half. Corner kicks, 10. Another atrocious corner kicks from Napoli, 80%, 86% pass percentage, and 79 for Spezia. Moving on to the shots, 29 shots, 29 for Napoli. 8 missed shots going into the stand, mostly Mario Rui, I think. 10 shots on target. Should have been 10-2, I guess. 11 blocked. Oh, guys. What's going on here? What's going on here? Oh, that's right. Thank you, Adam Miller. Hello, another CNC member. Thank you for joining us. Guys, what's the excuse here? I don't know. Rafa Rispo is going to call us soon. Probably in a few minutes, we're going to get him on the horn. We might add a segment like that later on, guys. So stay tuned for that. I'm working on it to get maybe a few of the viewers to actually call in so you can express yourself live. You know, get your few minutes of fame. So keep that in mind for all you viewers out there. Get in on the rant. Get in on the comments, guys. I want to put your comments up. Express yourself. Today's the day. I'm letting loose, bro. I'm taking out all the stops. Come into this chat. Express your anger, happiness. I don't care. I don't care what team you root for, whoever you are. Join me and Adam Miller right now in this chat, and let's get this rant started because, boy, do we have a lot to say. We lose against a Serie B team with 10 men. All right, what's the excuse, guys? Can please somebody, one of you viewers, please help me out. Please help me. Please come in and talk to me. What is going on? Is it Gattuso? Is it the team? Is it the injuries? What is it? What's the excuse? What is the excuse? Everybody can hear me all right, I hope? Everybody hear me all right? Can I get a thumbs up somewhere from out there in the world, guys? 2-1 against a 10-man Spezia. Listen, I said from the jump off. The call in though. Let's rant. Thank you. What up, Miguel? Welcome back. Good to see you as always, man. Miguel, what do you think, bro? What the hell happened today? What happened? This game should have been over within 12 minutes. 12 minutes. What up, Mike? All good. All good. It's not all good. It's not all good, bro. We need to win these games. You know how important this January is? You know how important this January is? I got Rafa calling. Hold on. Rafa, stand by. Rafa, can you hear me?
Yeah.
1 second, Rafa. Rafa, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
1 second, Rafa. Having some technical difficulties. All right, thank you, Mike. Rafa, you're on live.
What's up, Ralph?
Well, you tell me, bro. On the phone, Rafa Rispo. Got a bunch of people in the chat, Rafa, kind of expressing themselves here. Lots of concern. What happened today, Rafa? What happened? Please enlighten us.
Well, listen. What happened was we lost our heads, man. We should have put the game away in minute 1, minute 10, minute 15, we should have been up 4-0 in the first half, and it just didn't happen. You know,
no, it didn't.
These things happen in football matches. It's just the way it is. It happens a lot for us, and you know, it's frustrating. Yes, it's frustrating. We come away in the second half. We get the goal by Catania, who comes in for Politano. You know,
okay,
seemingly a good move by Gattuso, because you know, Catania is our guy off the bench, and he comes in and he does some damage.
Right. Shout out to Patenia, right? I mean, everybody called this guy out. Three goals off the bench. One that could have possibly been a game winner had we not tanked it towards the end of the game. But go on, Rafa.
You know, and then we get a soft but fair penalty call against us. They take their chances, and I would not have been happy with a 1-1 draw. I wouldn't have been.
No.
But the goal for the Spezia to go ahead was absolute brain fart. No concentration. Just an all around disaster. You know, and it was mentioned that we were the top defense in the league, giving up 13 goals coming into this game, and it didn't look like we were at all.
Maxi has not been looking that sharp back there these past couple games.
No, he hasn't. And,
I defended him for all of EL. He was looking great. He was the guy that came in for the Europa League and helped us out, but past couple games did not look good out there, Rafa. I mean, what are your feelings about Maxi right now before you move on?
Well, Maxi's a good defender. He just hasn't been having a good few games. I mean, the goal he gave up against Lazio, this brain fart from today, the you know, just overall, I think he knows that, you know, there are offers out there for him. Once Koulibaly comes back, he's going back to the bench. It's just the way it is, because it's Koulibaly and Manolas. That's it. You know,
but that's no excuse to play like that.
These people are human beings that have issues going on as well. You know, so it's not just about how you perform on the pitch. It's what's going on in their heads and what's going on in their minds, and that's the problem for Napoli. It's not technical. It's not the abilities of the players. We have great players. We have one of the strongest squads in Serie A. It's in a mentality issue, and I mentioned this the other day.
So who's responsible for that mentality?
But if it's not Gattuso, then who is it? It's got to be something internal. It's got to be the players they don't have that mentality. This was a great squad under Sarri. They did all that they could do, and it's time for a change. Yes, it's time for change. However, I'm going to go ahead and say this, okay? We lost to Spezia. It was an embarrassing loss. I'm furious about it. It was in the manner that we lost. I'm furious about it.
Right.
Don't get it twisted, people on Twitter, people on Facebook, because I'm catching a lot of heat right now from a lot of people about my attitude towards this team and how they're telling me that I should be mad and I should be furious and I should be, because I should be a real fan and say things like, I need a break from this club, or I relegate.
Who said that?
Serie B. Well, I'm
Somebody
telling you, I'm not going to shout it out on the air.
Nobody disrespects Rafa Rispo like that. Nobody disrespects Rafa Rispo
Listen,
like
Ralph, let me say this piece, okay? The people who I'm talking about know who they are, and if they want to reveal themselves on this program, they're more than welcome to, and that's fine, and we can have a discussion, okay? But there are Twitter accounts out there that are claiming
Napoli Twitter accounts?
Oh, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
Napoli Twitter. Absolutely.
Well, they need to come onto this rant and come talk to me, and we'll take care of this real quick.
There are people out there that are claiming that I'm not a real fan because I'm not upset enough about this loss. I'm as pissed off. Let me tell you something. When I'm a Napoli fan. Okay, I'm 37 years old. Okay. I've been a Napoli fan since I was in goddamn diapers. So I don't want to hear anybody question me and my fandom when I say things like, when I stick up for the team, even though they lost like this. Yes, it's inexcusable. I'm pissed. Napoli losing ruins my day, ruins my next few days until they play, ruins my week. You can ask my kids. You can ask my fiance. You can ask my mother. You can ask my father.
I believe you. I hear it. I hear it in the voice.
This team means more to me than almost anything aside from my family on the planet.
Rafa.
So when people question my fandom, I take it insulting and I take it personally.
I got you.
Now. Okay. Well, hold on.
I know. Somebody is asking for you here, Rafa. I don't know if it's the person that you got into the spat with.
Well, if it is the person I'm thinking of, before I say this, I put in quotation marks fans because these people decide to come out when Napoli lose, every time Napoli lose, and yes, this is the bottom of the barrel. You are not supposed to lose to Spezia, and I don't care how we lost. We're not supposed to lose to Spezia, okay? Yes, I'm pissed off. But let me tell these people something, okay? When they come on Twitter and they, quote-unquote, reactionary tweet things like, relegate this club to Serie B, or I fucking hate this team, or this team is the worst team I've ever seen, or things like, I need a break from Napoli. Don't you dare call yourself a Napoli fan, because a Napoli fan sticks through it through and through. I'm a damn Knicks fan. I'm a Mets fan. I have friends who are Jets fans. Let's talk to those people. Let's talk to those people who have been
forget about New York City.
20 years. 20 years straight, okay? We are a team that's fighting for the Champions League. I don't care who says what. We are not Scudetto contenders this year. That's why at the beginning of the season, I never said the word Scudetto. It wasn't until I knew we weren't going to win it that I said the word Scudetto. I didn't say the word Scudetto purposely because I know we're not Scudetto contenders. I know it.
But
okay?
Rafa,
go ahead.
Because I'm sorry, I want to cut you off here, and I love the emotion. Don't get me wrong. You have every right to be mad because I'm with you. Nobody should call anybody here a fake fan, especially Rafa Rispo, okay? Because let's keep it real here. I chose I wanted to be with Rafa Rispo here because he is one of the biggest fans I know, because he is one of the smartest, the most intelligent fans I know, and just because he's a good papa and doesn't trash his team when we lose, because I'm just as pissed. All right, so whatever you hear in Rafa Rispo's voice right now is in my heart. I feel just as angry as Rafa Rispo right now, but you don't trash people like that. But Rafa, I need to ask you. So Carmine was there. I think he's still here. Carmine, if you're still here, hit me up in the comments again. He is, but yeah, he is still here. You should be able to have an opinion. I don't know. Was it Fia the Vesuvio podcast? He's hitting us up.
Listen,
I don't know if it was that. Was it him?
Listen to me, Ralphie. I love everybody who's a Napoli fan, and I understand being upset, and I understand reactionary tweets. But when you tweet things like I'd rather see this club in Serie B, or I fucking hate this team, it pisses me off inside because I know you're a Napoli fan, and you shouldn't be acting like
got you, Carmine.
You can criticize the club for how they play, for how they lost, for this and that. But don't you ever stoop yourself that low like other teams' fan bases do, to be saying things like what I've seen on Twitter today, okay? And I didn't purposely decide to start a fight on Twitter, but when I see things like that and I post that that we need to have a level head. I get accused of not being as as much of a fan, because I'm not mad. I'm not mad because we lost to Spezia.
I got it.
Bullshit.
All right,
I'm pissed off.
I know you are. So, Rafa, what if there was one thing that you could have changed today? What was it? And this question goes for all the viewers. I need y'all to answer this question. All right, because we put all of our best players all the best players available to us. We put them on the field today. Now, it was my opinion before the game, and I got it. Me and Ken, we were going back and forth in the CNC Facebook. Okay,
so, but you and I were too on private. We were.
That's fine. And it was my opinion today that I wanted to see a little bit more rotation. Why? Because you give a chance to build confidence for the players that are on the bench, and you give an opportunity for your starters to take a break and kind of watch the game a little. You know, distance makes the heart grow fonder, right? So if people were on the bench once, it makes them want to come back in. I remember in the beginning of the season when Insigne was hurt and on his game back, he had to play on the bench. He was dying to get back on the field. He comes back on the field the next game and then kills it. I like when people get to have a break. All right, not only because of energy, but it brings back that enthusiasm so they can come back the next time and give it even more because they want to play. And I believe every Napoli player has that in them. Okay? Why couldn't now you had said something earlier about, you can't risk it. Well, when can you risk it? Because if you can't risk it against Spezia, who do you risk it to? You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't we see a couple other players on the field today? And then, if we needed to chase the game in the second half, then you could have put on Lozano. Then you could have put on Insigne. All right, your ponies, your super stallions. Then you could have put them on the bench to win the game. No, we take out. All right, Zielinski, I don't know. He's been a bit back and forth lately, but I know he has it in him to be one of the greatest players on this team. He comes off the bench. I mean, he gets off the field. Then what? Then what? We said, oh, well, it's not up to Elmas. Yeah, but then we use Elmas to come in on the second half to try to win the game. You know what I'm saying? So the argument to me is it just feels like Gattuso keeps getting out-strategized. And shout out to Spezia because they didn't come today and park the bus. They played a 4-3-3 and they brought it to Napoli. They brought it to Napoli today, okay, and they won. They didn't just park the bus. They played with balls today. And shout out to them. Okay, that they didn't give up. Rafa, can you still hear me? Just can I get a quick
Yeah, no. I'm here.
sorry.
I'm listening
No,
to you.
I'm sorry
Rafi.
because my headphone knocked out. So, Rafa, to me, it's like what so I'm with you on the feelings. Nobody here calls anybody a fake fan, especially Rafa fucking Rispo. Okay? But tell me, Rafa, because let's answer these critics now. Let's answer these haters. What could we have done different today?
Ralphie, before I answer that question, I'm going to say this. Spezia came to the Maradona with one of the most beautiful gestures I've ever seen a team give to Napoli, and that was that plaque that framed Spezia number 10 jersey with Diego per sempre Spezia Calcio frame that they gave to Insigne, and that was beautiful. But they came and gave that to him and said, "We're going to kick your ass today, no matter how we do it. We're going to kick your ass." The thing is that Spezia did not kick Napoli's ass. Napoli lost the match themselves. Okay, so
agreed.
The first 45 minutes, we had chance after chance. Now, the weather, we could say that the weather was a factor. You can say it for the first play, maybe, for that first minute. Insigne may have slipped a bit. Teams were slipped. The conditions weren't the greatest. But there's no excuse because when you have 3 or 4 more chances to put it in and you don't, then there's no excuse.
Right.
I do not blame Gattuso today, not one little bit. Gattuso, to me, did what he had to do to show – because Napoli, with that team on the field, should have beaten Spezia 5-0. That was my prediction in our predictions league. That team should have won 5-0, okay? The fact that he did not start guys like Elmas or Lobotka or, but that's another thing, man. Where else are you going to go? You've got injuries to Demme. You have injuries to Mertens is still out. Koulibaly, freaking Osimhen. these are not just your run-of-the-mill players. These are top players that we are missing, okay?
Right.
And there's not much of a choice that we have to put guys like Llorente on the field with 10 minutes left to try to win this game. There's not much of a choice. You know, Petagna can't start and play 90 minutes every
Right.
game. So his decision putting Lozano in the front made the most sense because Petagna is actually more effective off the bench, as you saw today.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Okay?
He is helping off the bench. And I wasn't a big hater on Lozano up front, but is there anybody that you could have seen today start?
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
Now, one other person.
No, because if you put Elmas in, Zielinski's spot, people are going to say, well, wait a minute, Zielinski's our best player. Why is he sitting on the bench?
Because it's Spezia. That would be my response.
But because it's Spezia, Ralphie, but we lost, bro. We
lost.
We lost with
Exactly.
our best 11 out there.
But
we lost with our best available 11 out there, man. You're going to put guys like Elmas, who hasn't played that much this season, or who's come off the bench more, Lobotka, him too. Like you see where I'm coming from? You put guys like that in, and then you're putting yourself at danger to be down early and then have to try to come back.
Yeah, but when has Elmas really been the number 10 for us in a 4-2-3-1? He's always coming on the left side. Right? Guys, if you hear any of these questions, hit us up in the chat. If I'm gonna respond to Fida Vesuvio podcast in 1 minute here, Rafa, all right? But yeah. Elmas to me was always the backup for Insigne. And anytime he came there and came through the left, he did excellent, whether it be a goal, whether it be assist. He keeps going to number 10. And the reason why I stress it, because I've stressed also in the past where I'd like to see Fabian Ruiz closer to the goal. So when Zielinski has to come out or when Zielinski needs a break, maybe we could put Ruiz in the number 10 spot. You know what I mean? And let Lobotka play next to Bakayoko. Maybe, there's chemistry between Ruiz and Elmas as well. When I remember, I forgot which game it was.
There's not chemistry between Elmas and Llorente, that's for sure. That was abomination.
I don't think he didn't expect that. I think, they were expecting Llorente to turn and shoot on that one. But even so, then can Llorente get a start maybe instead of up top?
But
what do you think of that?
So Ralphie, that's not likely as Llorente is about to leave. He's gonna leave. Llorente is out the door pretty much, put out the door. So the fact that he's available, yeah, maybe put in. But you see, and that's another thing. You can't put in that guy Cioffi because he's not experienced and he's on the team because in case we got a 4-5-0. We can throw this guy on.
Okay, that's fine. I'm with you there. He's an 18-year-old kid, never seen a day of Serie A. I'm with you there. Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, you're right. We would have been 5 up in the 80th minute. We throw him on for 10 minutes, give him a little bit of burn. Okay. FC Cavallero said Lobotka below average player, I guess, but I mean,
Listen, the fact that we are dealing with like long-term or lengthy injuries to very important. These aren't guys that are bench guys. This is Mertens. This is Osimhen.
I know.
This is Koulibaly. This has seriously affected this club, and it shows. So, I understand the frustration, and I get everybody's mad about the loss, and I'm as mad as everybody else is. I promise you, everybody
I
on
know
my
you are.
children's life.
I know.
I'm as mad as everybody is too. But you have to put into perspective that we have players that are returning from injury, and
right.
and these are fundamentally important players to Napoli's squad. Okay?
And what about?
So
I got a question for you. I got a question for you, Rafa. Only from one of our fans here. F. Cavarok BC says, "What about Ramani?"
Well, okay, Ramani for me is a mystery. I'm not sure why he hasn't
What's
gotten
going on
more
there?
minutes.
Right.
He should be. He was a great defender for Verona. He should have gotten a lot of minutes in the beginning of the season. He should have played some Europa League matches. But the fact is that when you have a duo, a tandem like Manolas and Koulibaly, who we already expected last season to be the best center back duo in Serie A,
okay,
that when they're firing on all cylinders at the beginning of the season, you don't want to change that dynamic, But it does prevent. It doesn't prevent. It does make a good what am I trying to say? It makes a good argument that when one of these guys go down, these guys have to come in and step it up. And Ramani hasn't seen enough time to do so.
Right.
So my suggestion is, yes, maybe Ramani should be starting. Over Maksimovic, especially now.
For a game like this, yeah. For a game like today.
Fact that he's made so many mistakes.
I get you. I was thinking that because Ramani had a few minutes of burn last week, that maybe, Gattuso was trying to get his legs going, and then we would see him again today. That didn't happen at all. In fact, we didn't even use our fifth substitute today. We could have used Gula. If we had, because it was pretty obvious when Llorente came in today, Rafa, that we were looking to try to get a header in, right? We were trying to cross the ball at that point between Llorente and Petagna, who are tall and can kind of get in there.
Right.
Okay. Right. Are the best crossing defender still on the bench? Still on the bench. Mario Rui lately, I like the guy, but he's been pissing me off lately, dude, because he keeps tanking everything he's sending into the box, whether it be a shot or whether it be a cross. Today I just saw Lorenzo Insigne a few times trying to go for goal when he should have been setting up his players. I saw that a few times today, and this is why I say, why can't Elmas come in and play that position at a time like this? Because if we spoke about depth, and this is what I'm sure, and again, Rafa, this is not towards you, this is just towards Napoli in general, because we have been talking about depth this whole season. I mean, literally the whole season. We've talked about how good our bench is, the money we spend, all these people we put in, yet we don't get to see these people come in and play when they should be playing, in my opinion. In my opinion, a bench or backup players to me are the people who can come in and take these games. That we should be instilling trust, because when you do, you build trust to these players. You build their confidence, okay? And you make them better. When you're inconsistently playing these people and putting them in all these different positions, they can't build a flow. Napoli has no workflow. And the fact that you know what offends me, Rafa? You know what offends me? That we play like crap for 70 minutes. And then we try to bring the game to them in the last few minutes. In the 85th minute, we got to see one of the best Napolis we've seen trying to take the game back against Spezia, who, mind you, had how many starters were they missing today? I think like 5 due to Corona.
A few starters, yes.
Few.
But I think that
it was like the B team. It was the City of B's B team today we lost against, and people saying it's justified.
Okay, Ralph. I understand where you're coming from. I think that argument is valid with the game against Torino. I don't think it's valid today. I think today we were the better team for 60 minutes. I think we were the better team for 70 minutes. I think we were much better than Spezia. We just didn't finish our chances, man, and that's the problem. That's the issue that we have right now, is not being able to finish our chances.
Well, the better team finishes.
And back to the question that you initially asked me, what would I have changed? If I were Gattuso, I might have made some substitutions earlier, right after the first goal.
Here we go again, right? 70-something minute. Let's go try to win a game now with the guy that we say shouldn't have started.
It wasn't until the 76th minute where he made changes to the squad after that first change.
FNS, I'm going to respond to this.
To bring in Petagna.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
No, I'm saying it wasn't until the 73rd minute, the 76th minute, that we made our more substitutions after the Petagna.
Right.
I think more substitutions should have came directly after the goal. I think we should have had some fresher legs on.
Right.
That's something that I would have done. So again, I'm not upset at the starting 11. I'm upset at the fact that Gattuso didn't make enough substitutions earlier.
Right.
And he made reactionary substitutions after we had, gone.
But Rafa, don't you feel like he's
drawn level?
Don't you feel like he's been doing that for the past handful of games? I mean, reactionary subs, in the sense that, and reacting to try to win the game, to try to get the game back, to try to get the result, not to try to hold the game or give people rest. He has been chasing every game in the second half.
Yes, I get that, but you could say things like that when we don't score goals, but then when we score goals from substitutions, he's a mastermind. You know what I mean? You can't have one, you can't have both. It's got to be one or the other. You know what I mean?
All right,
I
but
don't feel
doesn't
like
doesn't that make my argument valid that okay, today we had our top line. Fine. I mean, you can't be mad at using our top guys. I get that. But
our players were not clinical enough today, Ralph. They weren't clinical enough. That's just the way it is. And sometimes, and this is going to piss a lot of Napoli fans off too, but my father used to say this all the time, and it's the truest thing ever. When that ball doesn't want to go in the net, it's not going to go in the net, and that's just the way it is. You can do anything you can to try to score this goal, and you won't try. If it's not in the cards, it's not in the cards. We had an off day again.
You made it,
the
Paul.
problem is that we've had too many off days recently. But again, it's obviously the pattern is because there's no Mertens, there's no. I'm going to say it again. These players, these pivotal players. Okay,
right.
Yes, our depth is good enough, Ralph. Our depth is good enough, and our bench is good enough for just that, being a bench player, being the role that they have to be in. Okay, now they come off the bench. They came in too late, maybe. That's that. I don't want to hear Napoli lost to 10-man Spezia. Yes, they did lose to 10-man Spezia, but Spezia got a red card with 10 minutes left in the match. It's not like they had a red card all game. If they had a red card in the 70th minute or in the 60th minute, and we had 30 minutes with 11 versus 10, that's a different story. A 10-man team can beat another team if they're
absolutely
up. Or the problem is that they scored when they had their 10 men. That's the problem too, and that's the lapse of the defense. And that's Maksimovic. That's Manolas and Maksimovic together. This season, it's not really working. It kind of worked last year when Koulibaly was down.
Right.
Now it's kind of not working, and that's just it's down to 100% the mentality of the players on the pitch.
So,
and whose problem is it? I don't know. Is it Gattuso's problem? Is it Gattuso's fault? Because we saw the same thing with Ancelotti, and we saw this with Sarri too. I know we all praise Sarri's play, and we praise his results, and we praise what he did with the club. But at the end of the day, they didn't finish the task at hand. So it comes down to mentality.
Okay, so Rafa, here I have something that I wanted to address from FNS Forever, and I want you to address this. And I also want to bring a question out to the chat, to all the viewers. Hit me up in the chats. If you can blame one thing I want one answer from everybody, if you can. This goes out to the viewers. If there's one thing you could have changed today, at least one, what would it have been? Whether it be the tactic, the formation, one of the players. Hit me up in the chat. Get up on here. I want to know what's one thing. Rafa said his piece. What's one thing that we could have changed today to turn this game around?
That would have gotten our W.
That would have gotten our W, or would have kept us up the whole game. Just one thing. Okay, FNS Forever. And I said I promised I would respond to this. He said Emerson and Zaccagni or Papu.
Mm-hmm.
How do you? Does it seem like now more than ever that this might be a good idea for us? Would this make the difference?
I think it's smart. And I don't think it's necessarily a reactionary move to today. I think it's just good business. I think Emerson can fit in our squad. I think he's the player that we need, that we've been missing on the as a terzino, right? Zaccagni, I mean, I can't put him over enough. I mean, did you see his bicycle kick last week against Spezia, or the same Spezia team? Did you see his bicycle kick? It was amazing.
Right.
He can do that, and he can do a lot of other things. And it's a shame that he's being recognized now because he's 25. He hasn't been on the greatest of teams, and he hasn't been in Serie A for that long. Right. But this is a guy who can actually come in here and I think add to what we already have in the midfield. And I know everyone's upset, and I know everyone's going to probably say, what do we have in the midfield? We have a great midfield, and that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? When you put the teams on paper, our midfield is one of the strongest midfields in Serie A. You know?
Yeah.
It just is a fact. It's just a fact. I think these two guys to come in, but the thing is that Zaccagni would be a purchase again for
the summertime,
next
right?
season. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
so
next
probably want
season.
to make a difference.
Right.
Papu though would be plug and play. I mean, we get that guy; he's off to the races. As soon as the pen hits the paper.
I think Papu makes us quite a better team right away. I think that's the case.
Right.
I don't know the likeliness of him coming in. I mean, I heard that we reached out to Atalanta for him, and I heard that we are interested, but I think the rumors are kind of dwindling a bit.
Right?
We never know. We have all month to see, But it looks more likely that Inter are going to pick him up.
Yeah, it looks like it too. There was so Paulie Pauls agrees with FNS. Thank you, Paulie. Glad you finally got it. Paul has been trying to get on here for a while now. We were having issues with the comments, but he's finally back. We got a few new guys here. Facts with no results.
You mean wait, Paulie, my son?
No. A friend of the show. Who, in fact, by the way, Fabian is a meme at this point. Yes, FNS, you're absolutely. So, by the way, it was a couple weeks ago. We were it was a Tempo de Recupo. We were talking about the Tree Stadio for Maradona, and we had, I believe, Rafa, you had asked if Pele had a stadium, and we didn't know. And it turns out there is. It was Paulie. If you can hit me up in the comments and just tell me the name of that stadium again, I believe it was called King Pele Stadium, somewhere out in Brazil. So yes, it is confirmed. Pele does have a stadium, but Maradona has 3. All right, so let's keep it real. So, Rafa, all right. Now, one more question, guys, and then we're out of here. All right, one more question, then we're out of here. And I want to thank everybody today. Today was probably our best day for participation, guys. So I thank you to all our fans that have come in the chat and that are following us and that are here for the rant. This show is for you guys. This show really is, Rafa Rispo and I really want to have a place that you guys can come in and talk and express yourself and have your opinion, So thank you for coming here. Thank you for following us. Thank you for just, being with us at this time. Hit subscribe, like, notifications. See us on Twitter and the FFV. The Far From Vesuvius podcast. And then a Raf and Raf rant on Facebook and YouTube. And if you would like to come in, we have tons of chats. We have a great group in Calcio Napoli Club USA. It is a private group on Facebook. Find us, hit the request. I'll approve you right away. And you come in and you get to talk with us there as well. All right. But one more question, Rafa. This one's for you, and then we're out of here, okay? Rafa, What do we do for this next game now? Who are we playing? Let me double check. Who are we playing next
week? Udinese.
That's right. Udinese, we play Sunday, I believe.
Yes.
Let me see here. Rafa, I'd like to have the fan conversation with you one-on-one just to clear things up. Let me know. Okay, Sofia de Vesuvio, Rafa, said that he wants to have the a one-on-one with you. But maybe we can set something up. Maybe we'll bring him in on the range.
I think I would accept an invitation on Figli di Vesuvio's podcast. I know he had already. Okay,
there you go.
I think it was Carmine who had asked.
It is Carmine. Carmine. He has confirmed that Carmine is speaking right now. And if Carmine, if you didn't hear that, I'm sure you did. Sounds good. He said. Sounds good. So let's do this. We're gonna go back and forth here. We content creators. We'll set it up. We're gonna be on each other's show here, and we're gonna duke it out because And
listen, I just want to be clear about something really quick. I will say it was Carmine's comment that set me off, but it wasn't Carmine who called me, who essentially called me a fake fan. It was more commenters on my Twitter who were saying things like, Rafa, I love you, but what kind of fan isn't disappointed in and maybe I may have overreacted. Now here we go. Overreaction. Maybe I overreacted when I accused people calling me fake fans, but I did tweet.
Saul.
I did tweet fans with a quotation mark because of the fact that I saw all these just disgraceful tweets towards Napoli. And you can be mad at a club losing a match the way they did. I'm so mad. I'm pissed
So what do we
if
do,
anybody
Rafa?
thinks that I'm just kind of brushing this loss off to the side, but you don't just label a team,
Right.
from one loss that's terrible from Spezia. Yeah, we haven't gotten the job done when it comes to
So Rafa,
Scudetto.
what do we do against Udinese? I want to know. The fans want to know. They're waiting for they're drooling for your answer. What do we do against Udinese?
Against Udinese, we start Lozano as a striker again.
Okay.
We keep Petagna on the bench because apparently that's the most effective we have with Petagna.
Right.
Is when he comes
Okay.
off the bench. Now, it would be wonderful to be able to have Fabian start in the number 10 role, but the facts are Napoli don't play Fabian in the number 10 role. It didn't happen with Ancelotti. It's not happening with Gattuso. It's just not going to happen. I think the best Fabian best person for that role. So maybe we start Elmas over Politano on the right, even though he played for Insigne on the left. Maybe we put someone else at the number 10 role. But who do we have? We have Zielinski. He's our best player so far this season. There's nothing you can do about it. So for me, it's Lozano as striker, Insigne always Insigne. On the right, I wouldn't mind trying Elmas in that spot, but right now all we have is Politano. That's just what we have. And then in the midfield, I wouldn't mind. Hopefully Demme can come back. I think he's slated to come back. Maybe we have a Demme instead of Bakayoko. Maybe have him sit for a little bit. Fabian
we got to see. Does he come back next game, Demme?
Fabian is going to play. What's that?
Does Demme play next game? I mean, how?
If Demme is available, I think Demme plays next game. Yes.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be opposed to a Demme Bakayoko double pivot, even though that's a little bit too defensive. You got Zielinski, Lozano, Insigne, and Politano at the striker position. That's more than enough for goals. And Demme can come up a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Demme can come up a little bit. My big thing is I think we take Maksimovic out.
Okay.
I think we put Ramrani in.
Give him a chance at this point.
And I think Medek comes in for Ospina instead. I think Ospina needs to have a break and sit down. I'm not
should have probably
opposed,
played today, but
I'm not opposed to rotation, Ralphie.
Yeah.
I just think that today Gattuso made the decision to go with our strongest 11 because this was a good opportunity to get a big win and to stay on pace with Milan, which forget about that. That's over.
Yeah.
But I don't really blame Gattuso for his decisions today. But I think after today, I think there has to be some changes.
All right, Rafa.
I also think Gulam
needs to play as well. Gulam needs to play as well. But we're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna get. I believe the Juve Milan game just started. Probably gonna get in on that action. Take a look at that so we can have some Forza Milan for that one, right? But guys, thank you again. Thank you to all the viewers for stopping by today. It was a great show. We're going to be back again. Win, lose, draw, rain, snow, shine. We will be back post-game. I believe this Sunday, Napoli, Udinese. Look for some more Tempo di Recupero coming your way. That's going to be the quick news clips we'll be sending out kind of on a weekly basis. And then, of course, Juve is up 1-0. Carmine just told us. Shit. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Things change. So yeah, look for our rants. You'll know, you'll see, you'll get the notification. Hit subscribe, hit like, hit share. Guys, we out of here. Thank you again. Forza Napoli, big loss today, but hopefully we can bounce again soon. Rafa, thank you again thank you once again, as always, for stopping by and joining us, all right?
Absolutely. Forza Napoli sempre, no matter what.
No matter what, boys. All right, ciao, ciao, ciao.